Welcome to Relax and Paint this week, and I'm going to go over a few colors and products that we're going to use to paint today. One of the things that we're going to use is two different kinds of paint. I have some different colors here that are matte, so that's just folk art acrylic matte. And so this is how they look on the top, okay? So I have asphaltum and burnt sienna and forest moss, and the rest of the colors that I'm using are my multi-surface colors that I use a lot. And they have, because they go on multiple surfaces, they have this logo, and they have colors like medium gray, wicker white, coffee latte, and this blue peacock, which is really nice. So those are some colors I'm using for the mushrooms that we're painting today. I'm going to use my mop brush if you have one, or we can just use some water when we put the watercolor effects. And then this is floating medium, which I put it instead of on my plate, I put it in one of these little tubs. So I have the medium in there, and it's because I need more room on here. All right, so that's the floating medium. That's what we use instead of water. Now, if you can see what I've stenciled on already, this was some asphaltum, and then I used a little bit of the darker brown with it, with the burn umber, and I did the words in here with yellow ochre, and then so they really stood out. I came in there with some treasure gold. Okay, so this is the background, and it's a full stencil that I'm coming out with. So I just wanted to show you. You don't have to put a background, but it's kind of fun to have a background. So I thought I'd put that first, and just then let's together draw. I'm going to get a pencil that actually works. Sorry. Let's draw some mushrooms on here. Okay, so the first mushroom that I want to draw, I'm going to come up and fill it in here. So this is the top of the mushroom. Let's kind of make it a little bit bigger here. Okay, so mushrooms are very popular right now. So we're going to get the cap on the top. All right, and then I'm going to come underneath. All right, so we come underneath here. All right, and then I'm going to do a skirt right on the stem here. So we can make that skirt any style that we want it. Then we're going to come here and let's come down and let's make this curve a little bit. I'm on some great art paper. All right, and I did it more like 11 by 14 sheet. This is, no, it's not 11 by 14. Yeah, it is. It was too long. So this is a 12 by 12. So if you have a 12 by 12 canvas or art paper, if you had canvas, you'd base coat it usually, or it could be all white. All right, so then in here, I'm going to make another cap, but on this one, I want you to see that what's going to happen, guys, is that we're going to come around here and tilt it. So, and here you're going to see this much of the underneath. And on this one, you're going to be able to see it better when I base coat it white. Okay, but so this, see, you're going to see a lot in here of the shading. All right, so it's inside. So I'm going to come right here and see, get those two mushrooms there. And I like these other items around on here, but I'm going to come right here and tilt. Sorry, let's tilt one more in here. I just wanted to do a little fun project today, which is going to be a little bit longer. See how we do the little skirt underneath the cap. And we're going to curve this around. All right, so then I'm going to put some little fern and stuff. We'll just put a few other little extras in here as we go. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 16 and I'm going to get, let's get a 12. Or I just have all these 16s. There we are. Okay, So what's going to happen now is we're going to pick up our wicker white and I'm going to base coat the bottom of the mushrooms, okay? So I'm going to wet my brush, lay it on the paper towel, and then pick up my wicker white. And so where you're going to see this is all underneath, all right? So if you had this base coated on a canvas, I could do my grays, I could put stencil, and there's all kinds of stencils you can have underneath, but I just thought it would give it some character. All right, now I'm going to come down in here and down in here. All right, so I hope that you have subscribed to this my Donna Dewberry YouTube channel. And when you subscribe, make sure that you ring the bell because then it will tell you every time I have a live or something new on, you're gonna get a little message saying that I'm on or that I filmed. And then when that comes on, I know that some of my favorite extra details on food or whatever recipes that they will pop up for me. So then you can find out when any of the painting's going to pop up. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to ruffle the skirt right there. All right. So what we do is we're going to come back and shade this gray later. But right now, I'm just going to come in here. And this one's going to show more of the underneath, remember? And see, this white coats very well. And then I'm going to come and do the trunk of the mushroom. Mushrooms are really popular when I first started painting. So look at it now. They're real popular again. I guess it kind of comes around. Okay, so in here, we're coming right so you see it underneath the cap. And there you go. And we're going to come right here and pull it in there, right? So we're going to come right through here and we do it to all three of these. All right. I'm going to come down and make this ruffled skirt here again. And we're just going to make this disappear behind here. Okay. All right. All right, one thing I can do is bring a little bit of blue in here. Right, that just shows you a little bit of that, and we'll darken that a little bit later. We also can put a teeny bit of blue shading, even though we're going to have gray on the others, a little bit of blue on that side. All right, so I want to take the 16 flat, and with white on my brush, I'm going to pick up some of this blue peacock and this big guy here. I'm going to come right along here. Now, so far I put enough paint that I don't really need medium yet. Okay. Let's pick up some more blue. I am on art paper, so if you're on the canvas, it might go smoother. But in here, I might need to pick up a little bit of medium. Okay, so we have that. Now let me pick up a teeny bit of medium, and then we'll just fill this in. See that? Okay, I can make it a little bit darker on this edge. Okay, just a little bit. All right, and so we'll just make it scoop around a little bit so it looks like it goes under. So it's got a little bit of a glare, but see what I'm looking for? All right, so I'm going to wash this off. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to pick up a little bit of coffee latte and then burnt sienna. All right, so we're going to come right on top of here. Right around here. With a little bit of coffee latte. There we go. All right, so it gives you a little bit, but we can also bring a little bit of white in here. There. See how that gives it a little bit of highlight? All right, so now I'm going to wipe that off and let's pick up coffee latte and white and let's come all in here. Look how pretty these colors are together. Now you can make that a real butterfly. A blue butterfly would be pretty, or you can just leave it that metallic gold. I put a little bit of dark brown burnt umber underneath, and then I put the gold. I think that's actually burnt umber on here is what I did. I really like coat of that. All right, so there's where we're at. Now I'm going to bring little bits of this brown, which is asphaltum. All right, so I'm just picking up little bits of that. All right, and then we're going to come right around here. Right around there. A little bit more. I love doing some mushrooms. I had a big long line at the Pinners Convention because I did these cute little mushrooms. And people just stood in line just to deal with me. I thought that was fun. Okay, so are you getting that feel so far? Now, before I go any further, I can come in here. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, but I can come in here with this mop brush. The mop brushes are sold together. There's two sizes. This is the 3/4 and this is a 1/2 inch. And so I use this to blend color, like I can shade all in here, the color into each other, but I use these a lot with water to come in here and add a little bit of a watercolor effect. You see this? I can just come here and add water. Now it's going to make this wrinkle up a little bit, but then let's get a little bit of burnt sienna. Okay, so let's get a little bit of asphaltum, a little bit of gray. Just put a little bit of different colors in here. Here's some green. And I like it that you can put water and let it drip too. Put a little bit of drip of the blue. All right. Now it just gives you a fun effect. And I'll brush some of that up. Okay. So we can take and blow dry this a little bit. Let me do that in case, just so that we can keep going. So I think this will make this interesting for you. It's just a fun little project, but when you add all the details, it really adds to it. So I put a stamp, I put some words and some little wildflowers or twigs. Okay. Now let's take the floating medium. Let's put that right here. So I want some floating medium and I'm going to work in my gray. So you want to lay, this is a 16, you want to lay this brush flat against and side load the medium gray. Can you see that? Okay, so let's go up here to this first mushroom. So what you want to do first is that you want to shade underneath here. All right, and then along inside here. Okay, so we'll pick up some more. I'm going to come right along here and shade around, and then come back down here. Okay, now I'm going to take and shade right across here later. All right, but what I do is I'm going to come here and start shading down here. Okay, so we're going to come right in here, pick up some more gray, and we're going to go down that blue edge. So we can get a little bit more medium since we're working with paper. And we're going to come right down here. And so what happens along here, we're going to see it's kind of got a twist in it. There you go. All right. Now that's a big old trunk there, but it's going to work well when we put the skirt on top. And we put the skirt on top over here. All right, so now look what happens here. We're going to ruffle this. And then from there, what I want to do is I'm going to come and do little streaks across here. All right, so when that dries, I'm going to shade it a little bit more. All right, now this brush works good also for this edge. But when I do the smaller one, I'm going to have to go down to a 12. All right, so what happens here, we're going to bring some gray along there. This is medium gray. Along here too. We're going to go up under here a little bit. And let's come right here to there. See, it's still pretty white there, so we have to be careful. All right, I'm going to wipe that off. There. Okay, now with this, it's the same thing. I'm going to come way up in here, and it's going to curve. See that? It's going to curve up. Okay, and it just gives you that nice look. And then in here, we're a little bit wrinkled for the ruffles. Okay. Now, this last little guy here, I'm going to go get my 12. All right. So when I come in here, I'm going to get medium again, side load the gray, the medium gray, and we're going to go right along here. Go around. See, we're going around each time we went along here. But what's happening here is that this is going to put that in the back a little bit. Okay. All right, so let's get a little bit more gray. And what we're going to do is we're going to come right in here. See how we drew it? The idea is that this is coming from the center. And then we're going to come right in here. And we're going to take some of these lines right in here. And it's going to come right along there. And then we can clean this up again. Okay. So that's going to give you that little bit. I'm going to put some fern because this guy got way too big. So let's come right here. Let's get some medium. And let's get some forest moss. And I'm going to come right across here so that we can put this fern right in front because it'll help me with that look. I didn't want brown. I wanted to put some blue, but I got brown. So with the green. So we're going to keep picking up a little bit of that green. So it's like a little fern. Okay, so we put that there. I am going to come, this is with the 12 flat. I'm going to come in here and put a little bit in here. So let's pick a touch of white up with that forest moss. All right, so let's touch of white and then get forest moss. See, that'll look good because we have all the white in the trunks of the mushrooms. Okay, and we can take that white right along there. I hope that you like this. I think it's already got twigs and all going in here, so you don't have to put them everywhere. But let's pick up some blue peacock with some white, and I want it kind of watercolor, so I'm going to get them floating medium and make it real transparent. All right, so I'm going to bring this right along here. All right, so it kind of adds to those clusters over there instead of taking it away. And it's kind of transparent. All right, so there we go. See that? See how that adds to this? All right. All right, so we brought the blue down, blue, blue, blue. Got to give you a little bit of triangle. So I'm going to leave that blue in my brush, but I'm going to go get some more forest moss. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to bring a couple of pods up here. All right. And it's going to come a little bit out here, so it makes sense. And then we can put a little bit of a green fern in here with the forest moss and the blue peacock. So see, it's giving you a fun little look. But now what I want to do is I'm going to wash this brush and I'm going to come in here with some medium and asphaltum. Okay, so what we need up here, we're going to make these little stems up here. Okay, so I'm going to just put a couple of little extra, we can use like daubers even. Okay, so I put a little bit of burnt sienna and a little bit of brown. Okay, so let's get a teeny bit of medium. So see how I'm getting this look? All right, so I'm pushing and twisting. Gonna tap it. These are kind of nice because these pull out. You've got two sides and you also have a handle to work with them. And so it goes double. So I'm going to put a few of these in here. And there's different sizes, so you can get bigger, different sizes in there. Okay, so I'm going to throw that in the water and then get a script liner. There we go. Oh, my script liner's got paint all left in it. So don't do that. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna come in here and just get it inky. A little bit of inky. Roll the brush. I'm hoping that you like this, what we're getting out of this. We're getting little pods. Okay, so we're gonna pull pods in here. All right. You can also pull some stems down in here. Right. So what you're gonna see in here is little divided areas. And you can put little branches. Right, so that just adds, so that kind of reminds you of this, or you could take that and stencil it up there also. All right, so what I'm going to share with you is that I'm going to come right along here and a little bit along here. Okay, and a little bit to separate. All right. Now some of these I have to shade, but everything needs to be dry. Okay. Now, a couple of things I want to do is I want to get some white on this handle, and we're going to dip dot fresh dots. See, I smeared it again. Let's make a bigger dot, 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 dot. All right, so that gives a little bit of that. And then on this guy, I'm going to spread out and put polka dots. And this is just dip dotting the handle of the brush, but you have to have fresh paint. You can't get it, go in dried up paint. You want to make sure that you pick up fresh paint. This one doesn't really need anything in it. And this one over here has a few. I add a little bit of gray in it. Let's put a little bit of gray in those. Okay. Now I'm going to take this 12 and I'm going to side load asphaltum and come along here. All right, so I'm going to turn this upside down. And I can get a little bit of gray and asphaltum. Okay, so I still want the metallic gold to show. But I'm just going to show you how we can come right down along the body and come up. All right. So then I'm going to come right along here and right along here. And see where the body is. Okay. We're going to get a little bit of gray along there. Okay, so I can take right in here into the body. And I can also get my antennas. Touch and pull, touch and pull. Now I made this stencil so that you could just do that clean, but I made it a little muddy. So I'm going to dry this because I need a last minute little touches. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. So I'm going to come in here. Let's get 10. And I'm going to use some floating medium. And I'm just going to come in here with a teeny bit of a darker color, which would be a little bit of that asphaltum. So I can have medium gray and asphaltum, right? So as I come along here, all right, I'm also going to come a little bit in here. So I'm getting some of the depth in there, just a little bit. So we're coming along here. See how it gives you some depth right in there. And that's going to come across here too. So we're going to get a little bit more. Right? So see how you get some depth in there? Now, when we're coming in here with a little bit more, we can come under here. And we get a little bit more. So I'm going to come right along here. And we're going to come up a little bit from the bottom. See that? I can also come in here and get a little bit of a darker space in here. Right? Just aging that. And you can do that with any of these. You can get some really pretty mushroom colors. Like I'm going to take some medium gray and blue peacock with some medium, floating medium. All right. And I got to be careful because I have all these dots, but I can come along here and bring it a little bit around here. And get a little bit more shading along this edge. Okay. So just a little bit to give you, you want to do that before you put the dots on it. All right. Because now they're not all totally dry, so I might mess this up. All right, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go right along in here. Just a little bit of blue, like I had the blue going here. See how I'm pulling some of that down? Now, if I come in here with just the medium gray, like I was showing, I get a little bit darker in here with asphaltum and gray. All right, and then we're going to come down here. Okay. So each thing that we're doing, see how each thing just adds a little bit more to it. All right, so I'm going to put a few more little greenery in here. Let's get asphaltum and green at the same time on here. Medium and asphaltum. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed that. I was just experimenting and showing you how you can use the stencils and drawing and putting different daubers, making as this dries, you're going to still get color there, but it will you can iron the paper. If you get paper that's thinner like this, you can iron it with like a tea towel or a pillowcase over it, and it'll flatten it right out. But I hope you like this. And this is our relax and paint for this week, and be looking for practice strokes on Friday. All right. And I would love for you to join our One Stroke Advantage. So go check out, subscribe and ring the bell. And then there's a word that says join. If you click on join, it'll tell you what you can get in the One Stroke Advantage. Along with every month, you get 20% off anything you purchase on my website. All right. So there you go. And I'll see you next time.